So just keep looking forward, because the last guy was doing was looking at me as I was going around. It's like, no, I really don't need that, but all right, okay. Because it's impolite to say, could you just stop talking and look forward? But that's all right. So first of all, we start with asking you your name.
David Allport.
David Allthorpe.
Allport.
Allport.
A-W-L-P-O-R-T. Yeah.
All right. And is that a local name?
No, it's originally a Shropshire name.
Shropshire. Is that are you from mining stock?
Yes, my dad, my granddad were all miners.
Really?
Probably dating back into the 1700s.
Really? Have you done what's the word, research?
Yeah, well, the family tree was done back to 1725, which
really?
was in West Bromwich.
Really?
Yeah.
Mining?
No, he was an engineer, that gentleman, which at that time he went from being an engineer to a gun maker, clockmaker.
Flipping heck, so that's, at that time, that's top of the tree, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the sense of
engineering.
Craft guilds, engineering.
Yeah.
What, we're talking 18th century, mid 18th century?
Well, 1725 that was.
Flipping heck.
Yeah.
Was he in Allport?
Yeah, no.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
And do you know what the name comes from?
Not really, no. There are thoughts that the family actually go back to Cornwall to the tin mining.
Right.
In Cornwall.
Is there a town called Allport?
Yeah. My family went up into Lancashire. My mum and dad were born in Bolton in Lancashire.
Right.
And then they came over here with the mining in the 20s.
So, do you know why?
Probably to move with the jobs, with mining.
So does that mean...
The pits were opening over here, shutting over there.
Right, so the pits up in Lancashire would have been drying out or
well,
emptying out?
Some of them may have been shutting, yeah, or economically it was more economical to come and move about.
Right. And so therefore you were brought up in Shropshire?
No, I was born in Doncaster.
Doncaster?
Yeah, my mum came over here as more or less as a child from Bolton. I had family in Bolton and Wigan, and mum came over here with my gran, and then she lived in Hyde Park, my gran.
So why is it? So you say your mum was living with her grandmother?
Yeah, she came over as a child.
As a child,
mum,
right.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
does that mean your grandfather wasn't around with your grandmother?
No, he was there. He worked at Brodsworth Pit. My granddad.
Right.
Yeah, he was at Brodsworth Pit.
And what period is that?
That was 1950s, 1960s. He worked there. He retired. I think he retired when he was about 70.
Crikey!
Granddad,
Really,
yeah.
mining till he was 70.
Yeah. Well, those days you had to, didn't you? There were no.
Bloody hell! I mean, was that active mining, or was he put into an office type thing?
No, it would be active mining.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's
quite
a thing, actually, isn't it? Because I mean, the way the mining seems to work at the moment, it seems you progress to the face, as it were. That's
well, I actually went down I was probably one of the youngest to go down Allport pit. I was at Markham Main at Allport. I started as an apprentice fitter, apprentice mechanic, and I went down the pit on my 18th birthday. Really? Yeah.
Because you weren't allowed to go down...
Until you were 18.
Yeah.
I started at Allport in 1972 or 73.
And did you stay as a fitter?
I stayed when I qualified. I stayed as a fitter until just after minor strike.
And what is a fitter?
It's somebody who repairs all the machinery. We were trained as apprentices. We were trained to do everything. We could weld. We could make things on lathes.
Really?
Do anything, yeah.
And was all that available at the...
Not down the pit, but it was available on pit top,
on the
yeah.
pit top.
But you were trained to do everything. You could work anywhere. So I spent most of my career was on coal face.
Repairing
machinery, yeah. Keeping it running. Changing it over at weekends when it needed changing. General maintenance.
Yeah. And is it a life you chose?
Not really. My mum always said if I ever went down a coal mine, she'd break my legs because all the family I'd worked down coal
Broken
mines,
the
and
legs down a
obviously
coal
it
mine.
was, and it was obviously a very dangerous job. And I think I was a bit disappointed when I went there.
What was your motive?
It was a job at the end of the day as an apprenticeship. I left school around about the time where all industries were cutting back. There weren't many apprenticeships, and the NCB offered a very good apprenticeship. Probably one of the best.
When you say good apprenticeship, what were you gauging it by? Money you got, or
No,
skills you learned?
the skills you learned. Skills that you could take anywhere, literally in the world. Some of my colleagues went to work in America and places like that, mining.
Did you have that kind of ambition?
Not really, no. No, I'm a bit of an home bird. I like being at home. Not one for wanting to go and work abroad. Quite happy where I am.
Yeah. So you stayed at Broadsworth?
Allport,
sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Your dad was in Broadsworth?
My dad was at Rosington.
This is so confusing, so bloody.
My granddad was at Broadsworth, my dad was at Rosington. I was at Allport, Markham Main.
And was that a big pit? Deep pit?
It was a deep one, yeah. I think it was 660 yards, if I remember rightly.
That's down?
Yeah, yeah.
So
And quite an old pit. It opened at, I think it was about 1910, 1912, something like that, if I remember rightly.
Really? Did it go that deep that fast? I mean, that early?
Yes, it was a complete shaft when it was dug, yeah. I believe, anyway.
And your first trip down the cage?
It was...
Could you believe how...
It's interesting, yes. It's a little bit faster than a lift in a shop.
Did you have all the apprehension and the fears on your first day, as it were?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's if you didn't have fear, it's not a place you should be, because it's a very dangerous environment.
So as a fitter, you stayed as a fitter the whole time?
Yes. I was a mechanic all the time.
So you didn't have to do any of the market man business and all that?
No. Just repairing machinery if it broke down.
A lonely, not lonely, what I mean is solid. You're not kind of part of a working team, you're more of a guy that sorts stuff out with broken machines when they're having a tea break type thing? Or
No, we worked in twos, usually two of you together, fitters.
Right.
And you had your own coal face. And you usually worked two of you, so you weren't lonely.
So are you often getting into... I mean, is it quite, I suppose...
You could be working on your own long distances from people, but yeah.
I mean, are you going down, what sort of pit face, how big was the coal face at some...
Some were 8 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot.
Oh, quite nice ones.
One of the ones that I worked on was 20 foot.
High?
Yeah.
So it was a good...
Yeah, so when anything fell out roof, you didn't know till it hit you.
That's another problem then.
Yeah.
So when this Markham Main had between an 8 foot and a 20 foot coal face.
Yeah.
That's actually really quite a special one then.
Yeah. It was quite a thick. It was the Barnsley Dunstall seam, which is quite a thick seam at Allport.
Does that mean that people? Would you find people? Is it like a league of mines? And if like God, they've got an 8 foot coal face, we'll try and get there. Or did
no. You went wherever you were sent.
So people didn't like try and get into yours?
No.
Because
the only time anybody ever tried to get into mining, other than somebody who wanted a job, was when they started shutting the big industries down around Doncaster, like harvesters, places like that. They all came to the pit because it was the only one that were employing.
Right. Harvesters, what's that?
International harvesters. They used to build tractors.
Oh right. Okay.
Well, when the big industry started contracting.
So, your dad, was he happy you were down there?
My dad came out to the mines, I would say in the mid-60s. He became a bus driver.
Right.
My dad, yeah.
So you were in the... Did you overlap your time?
No. I was only a child when my dad came out of the pit.
Right.
All three of my uncles, they all worked at different pits.
Gosh, it's quite a big... I mean, a lot of these it's a big family concern, isn't it? There's so much.
Oh yeah, a lot of the lads down the pit, they were all families working there. That's what destroyed the communities when they shut the pits down. That they were family jobs. Yeah. And I also said during the miners' strike, it weren't my job to sell.
It was what? Sorry?
It wasn't my job to sell. It was somebody else's job that was following me.
Yeah. Yeah, in a sense, you were fighting for.
Yeah.
Fighting for the line. Yeah.
I had no right to sell the job. It weren't mine.
Yeah.
I was just filling it in at the time.
Yeah. And so did you go? So did you carry on working after your mining career?
Yes, I was an engineer. When I left the pits, I went to work in a paper mill, and I left there and went to work for British Rail for 10 years. And then I changed career and became a nurse.
Oh, really?
And I've been a nurse since, for the last 23 years.
So how did that happen?
I just decided I wanted to do something different. I got made redundant with the railway and thought, I can't do this anymore. I want to do something else.
So you got made redundant twice?
No, well...
You left the pit?
I just left the pit, yeah. I didn't get made redundant, I just left. But when I got made redundant from British Rail, I thought, I've got to do something else, can't do this. And then became a nurse.
So what type of nurse are you?
Psychiatric nurse.
Oh, right.
In a high security hospital.
Oh, right. What does a high security hospital mean? Is it,
It's look after people with forensic needs, people who've done things that they need looking after in high security.
Forensic needs?
Criminal.
Okay. So forensic is a word. Forensic needs? Just trying to work out what that means.
It's people with a criminal history.
Right.
Yeah.
But does forensic doesn't mean that though, does it?
No.
It's the way of
people with criminalised history, and mental health problems.
Yeah. So do they come from all over the?
Going to come from all over the country, yeah.
So did you always have kind of sympathies in that?
No, it's just something I fell into and enjoyed.
So all the skills you learned.
It's amazing how many ex-miners actually do it.
Really?
Yeah, there's quite a few ex-miners. Yeah. One of my colleagues, he did around about 10 years working with me, and then he went to live in New Zealand, doing it in New Zealand as a nurse, yeah.
So whereabouts is that? Where's the hospital?
It's Retford, Nottinghamshire.
Oh right, you're quite away.
Yeah.
So you've travelled a long way to be here.
Yes.
We're honoured. How far's Markham Main?
It's, do you know Doncaster? Do you know where the racecourse is?
Yes.
Well, it was the back of the racecourse.
Is it?
Yeah. Before they knocked it down and filled it in.
I was going to say, so much of that history has been flattened.
Yes.
It's extraordinary.
It had a proper Victorian steam engine winder in it, and they cut it. They wouldn't. I'm told they wouldn't let the museum have it. They cut it up.
God. When you say they, who do you think they is?
Well, it would be somebody at the top.
Yeah.
But Fred Dibner had broke his right arm to get hold of that.
Yeah. How old was Markham Main as a pit then?
It was around about 100 years old when they shut it, if I remember rightly. Probably just over. Had some old workings in it. In the old pit bottom, it had the old stables where the pit ponies were.
So was that the sort of place that you would walk through to get to where you want to be, or was it?
No, it was a little bit out of the way, but I mean, when I first started, I used to go around there regularly. There was still all the horse tackle there.
Really? When
I first started in the 1970s. Because the ponies haven't been out of the pit long in the 1970s. Probably been only out about 3 or 4 years.
Bless you, thank you.
What's your coffee?
So was there still guys that worked with them when they were down there?
Yes. He'll tell you the old chaps who tell you the tales of the pit ponies. How they'd keep their orange in the pocket, and the pit pony had suck the orange through the pocket. sort of what was left was the pith and the peel.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, they were very clever. So they used to say.
What were the so those guys who were using the pit ponies, what would they have graduated to once they'd gone? Would they?
They did just went on to general haulage then, because the haulage, the goods that were moved in and out of the pit were done on a wire rope system.
Right.
So they just moved on to general haulage.
Do they get retrained, or do you need to get retrained for that?
Yeah, they'll have got some training. I mean, the basic skills of working a tub in a coal pit, I don't think have changed over all the time. It's the difference between having a horse and fastening it to a rope that was the difference.
Did you ever work with it?
No, they'd gone by the time I can remember them being in the fields when I was a child, when we used to go up to San Beat Wood. But by the time I started, they'd been gone probably 4 or 5 years.
Your granddad would have worked with it.
Yes, he would have worked with them.
We've had some nice stories about them chewing tobacco and all sorts of.
Yes, it's a disgusting habit, chewing tobacco. It wasn't a very pleasant habit, having people around you that chewed tobacco.
Was it all like being spat out all around your tea break time?
Yeah, well, they'd spit all over the place, yeah, and it was just... I'm not a smoker anyway, but it used to smell vile.
So I suppose they couldn't smoke because obviously, was that an alternative to getting tobacco down without smoking?
Yeah.
So above ground, would they be smoking?
Yes, that and snuff.
Snuff.
A lot of them took snuff. Of different varieties of flavours. I mean, I've never ever tried it, but it certainly smells. Some of the flavours smell quite nice. But yeah. Chewing tobacco, yeah, it was my own personal opinion, a disgusting habit.
Well, I only come across the nearest thing I've come to it is in India with this thing called beetle juice.
Yeah, similar, yeah.
And you'd sit, you go in these incredible, I said, well, they were cool. They were like dormitories, I suppose, youth hostels. And all the travelling guys, at night time, they'd be hawking up this stuff and just sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
And you're trying to sleep. It's worse than snoring.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just
Betel.
I'm doing an impression.
Betel's a bit of a narcotic as well, isn't it?
Yeah, betel, that's it, betel juice.
Yeah.
See? Black as well.
Yeah, it was red, blood red.
Yeah.
The mouth. It was.
Yeah.
So I suppose that was quite, the culture of that was probably quite close to the...
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Was there a sort of machismo attached to it?
Well, they always got the apprentices to try it, because
Would they laugh?
it was usually quite funny when they made themselves poorly with it.
Really? Poorly? So what was the effect it would have?
Well, if they swallowed it, it made them not very well. But,
Was
yeah.
that like their initiation then?
It could be, yeah, it could be.
What was the initiation?
Yeah.
Did you get initiated?
I don't know, I would never do anything, I'll try that. It's, ugh.
I'm moving around you, don't worry.
Yeah, you're right.
He was very good.
Yes.
Still as on your face is what's the word? It's not stuck, but it's set in a very pleasant, nicely benevolent style. Very nice.
Liz said he was beautiful. I said, well, I've not heard that either. I imagined him in a mine as that. I thought you'd have him sat there in a mine as that.
Oh, we could do that for you. No problem. You can have whatever you want, madam. So this job,
I've actually-
Put a hook in his nose.
I've actually-
Hooks on.
we had that last night.
I've actually still got my old one in shed.
Oh yeah.
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 We might want to borrow that because I might be wanting to cast a few of these objects.
Sure, I've still got it.
Did you not keep much of your?
I've got all my tools, but I don't think I've got much else.
Is there a sense of pride? Are you one of those kind of guys?
Oh yeah, I'm very proud of what I did. Yeah, very, very proud. Proud of the people I work with. You couldn't have worked with a better group of people. Community spirit. Oh, and you don't see it very much nowadays.
Well, it's almost unheard of, I imagine.
It's,
Do you get it in your psychiatric hospital?
Yeah, you do to an extent. I mean, times are changing with modern people, but amongst the older generation of nurses, you get a lot of community spirit. But unfortunately, the modern community is a little bit different, not as caring towards each other.
What about to the patients?
No, well, they're caring towards the patient, but they're not caring towards each other. They're not. There's more selfishness, you could call it.
Have you? How long have you been there?
23 years.
God blimey, jeez.
Yeah.
You've had a career that spanned. How long were you in the mine?
13 years.
13. I thought you
Yeah.
said 30.
No, 13 years. No, 13 years I was down coal mine.
So how long were you nursing again? 20.
23 years
So
I've done
you've
in
done
nursing.
more nursing. So
Yeah.
you've had a chance to witness the generations pass.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So what is your position in the hospital?
I'm a staff nurse, senior staff nurse.
Does that mean you're in charge of things?
No, well, I'm in charge. I can be in charge of a ward on any given day.
So how many people are in it? How many inmates? Or not inmates?
I can't discuss that.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah, I'm not allowed to. Yeah,
Yeah, really?
yeah, yeah.
Gosh. How many high security institutions like that are in the country?
Three.
Three?
There's Ashworth, Broadmoor and Rampton.
And you're Rampton.
Yeah, yeah.
And why did you choose it as a profession?
I just fell into it more than anything. Yeah.
So there wasn't. So what training did you? I mean, your training must have been more of a psychological.
No, well, I went there as nursing assistant. And then I was offered the chance a few years later. They offered to pay for me to go to university to train as a qualified nurse, and I went and did that. Went to university for 3 years.
Really?
At 47 years of age.
So you got paid to do that?
Yeah, they paid for me to do it. Yeah.
God, blimey.
I'm very
Does that
lucky.
still happen?
Not very often. It still happens on periphery because obviously there's a shortage of nurses nowadays, but not like it did.
So do you have a lot of, I mean with Brexit and stuff, we've had a lot of chat about, what's the word, people from other countries coming in and, for example, working in the nursing sector.
Oh, we have
nurses. Does the same apply to?
We have nurses from a lot of countries. We have Zimbabweans, Malaysians, Africans. We have all sorts of nurses. As long as they're good at the job, it don't matter what colour the skin is.
And do you think that will change with the whole new way things are going?
Well, it may drive some away, you don't know. It all depends on whether they want to go.
Are people from other countries employed because you can't get them in this country, or because they're very well employed and perfect?
Well, we no longer train our own people.
Right.
We prefer, it's cheaper to import people from abroad rather than spend money training.
So your kind of education then, your paid education, is no longer available?
It is, but on a minor scale to when I did it, yeah. We are still training people. And quite recently training one or two more as well, but not on the scale that it was.
And does the training for a forensic nurse, is that different from a training from a general?
No. Your first year you do all branches of nursing. I did midwifery, general nursing, and then you go into your own branch in your second and third year, your specialist branches. But your first year you do all branches. I did acute care for the elderly. Midwifery, they wanted me to change to be a midwife.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a job for a man. I don't think, anyway.
Is it because empathy is required?
No, I think it's a bastion of women's privacy. I don't think if I was a woman, would I want a man being there when I was giving birth? I don't know in that respect. I don't think there are men that do it, but it's not something that appealed to me in that respect.
So is it a dangerous place to work?
Can be, yes. You do get injuries.
Which is the most dangerous?
Mining by far. Yeah.
Were you witness to it?
Oh yes, I've several friends injured over the years, some myself.
Really?
Yeah. Got a few scars.
Have you got a few scars?
Yeah.
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 It's going to be like that scene in Jaws next. I'll show you mine.
I've got a nice one there.
I thought that was your head.
I've got one there.
Oh, I thought you
Oh,
meant
yeah.
from mining.
Yeah.
From here.
Yeah.
Pay for deposit on that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How much did you get for that one?
I think at the time it was about £800,
Really?
that was in the 1980s.
So for a head injury,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not blue though, you let us down.
Yeah. And the nurse in the hospital did clean it very well and made me squeal.
So what was that? What happened there? You got hit by a...
I caught it on something in an accident, but the nurse at the hospital cleaned it well with a nail brush.
Oh my God.
Not allowed to do that now.
He wasn't, what was the name that came in lately? Joe?
Joan Hart?
Oh, I don't know. It was in A&E middle at night.
Were you unconscious at the time?
No, I didn't even know I'd done it. I said to my friend, I said, it's made my nose bleed. He said, that made your nose bleed. He said, cut your head open, your brain's hanging out. Sit down.
And at that point you got turned on to nursing?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it did cut it down to the bone. But I didn't even know I'd done it.
So do you know what it was that hit you?
Yeah, it was an RSJ that it clipped my helmet, and I think it was I don't think the RSJ hit my face as such. I think it was the clip on the inside of the helmet that did it, as it spun my helmet round. But I may be wrong, but I always thought it was the clip that did it, not the RSJ.
So were you a drinking man?
No, I've never. I get terrible hangovers. I don't drink much. I can't do with feeling like I'm going to die.
Because a lot of the stories have been based on
Oh,
drinking culture.
there's some very, very hard drinking gentlemen down coal mine, yes. Very, very. But I used to drink reasonably when I was a miner, but I had a horrendous hangover, so I didn't do it to excess.
Just little and after.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than waking up and feeling like you want to die.
Well, except for going to bed.
And I've always been jealous of people that don't have hangovers.
Yeah, so I think we all are really.
Yeah.
I don't like meeting them.
Yeah.
I've given up really.
How was it, Uncle Dave, with what my dad did and what you did? Did you get to see each other much, or was it totally different?
Did I what? Sorry, get to speak to each other?
Like with Dad?
I saw your dad several times down pit, yeah.
Yeah.
Now he was a geologist. Sorry, what's the relationship?
Geologist.
You're a,
So my mum is
My sister.
your sister.
Yeah.
So your brother-in-law was Liz's dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Liz's dad was a geologist.
Yeah. What they used to do, they'd come down, they'd plan out how which way the face was going.
Oh really? So they actually directed this.
Yeah, which way it was going, and then they'd see if it was on track. They'd look at the stone and the coal and see what was there,
Oh,
so
really?
they knew what was coming. Because you'd sometimes hit faults that nobody knew about,
Oh, right.
which could cause big problems.
And how often would they be down with a geologist like that?
Well, I only saw Mick probably down pit probably 10 or 12 times in all the times I worked there, but he'd be down probably every day, depending on what were going off.
And would he be leased to all the pits in the area?
Yeah, he was an area geologist, so he'd be all pits, yeah.
And there'd be one of him, or?
I think there was a couple, weren't there, Liz? I don't think there was just one, but yeah.
There was Chris and then there was Johnny's boss.
Yeah. But considering how many pits was in the Doncaster area, which I can't remember how many was there.
Well, I get told off, but I think at the moment there was 16.
Yeah.
When I first came here, there was 12.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Keep getting told off, don't you?
I get told off a
Yeah.
lot. You get told off a lot. But you don't. I don't think you'll tell me off.
No,
You got a benign, set face.
yeah, no, it's that long ago. I can't remember, but yeah, 16 probably about right.
Can you just look to your belly? Shut up, because all these second hour they got going. You know that, don't you?
Mm.
So it's just lining your forehead. I've got to know which eye socket's right. Gone too far back on that one. Thank you. You can come back up now. Usually takes me months, a week to do this sort of thing. I have to go quick. Do you look like your dad?
No, well, my dad was more sharper featured than what I think I am, but there again he was a little bit thinner than me. I think I'm probably more like my mum than my dad.
Was she a big strapping woman?
No, my mum, my mum was about 4'10".
She was so tiny.
Yeah.
But you did say at one time she was a bigger lady, or she was Granny used to say.
When I was 6, she was told she'd got 6 months to live, and she lived to be 82,
Really?
and that was just through sheer bloody mindedness.
Why did you tell she got 6 when she was...
She'd had so many heart attacks.
When she was 6?
No, when I was 6.
When you were 6?
When I was 6, yeah, which she'd be
Angina.
in the mid to late 20s then.
This is your mum?
Yeah,
And she was
Yeah.
85 when she died, was she?
yeah, yeah.
10
Yeah.
years ago.
So do you think your caring Nate side, were you constantly aware that your mother might be...
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean that, I don't think that, my caring side I think comes from how we were brought up, that I was brought up to be a caring, proper person, not be selfish, self-centred or anything like that.
I don't know if your daughter's laughing. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, she was 81.
So 88, and she was 4'10".
Yeah, 80.
Yeah, she weren't very tall. She used to try and tell people at the hospital when she went for her examinations that she was 5 foot.
It's quite a common feature in those. My mother-in-law's 4'10".
But how big were you when you were born up there?
Me, £2.
£2.
Yeah.
He's made up for it.
You're probably lighter than his head.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Were you premature?
Yeah. Quite a bit.
So he's actually older than he looks.
How premature were you then?
About 35 years, I reckon. I think it was about 6 weeks, if I remember rightly.
So that came at 25 weeks.
Yeah.
So in that time, that was
Quite serious,
the
yeah.
last century.
My mum was told that I wouldn't live, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you older than your sister or
No, my sister's 8 or 9 years older than me.
89?
8 or 9. Sorry, it's my accent.
I hope she's not listening.
I bet she's watching, she's going to get you.
Yeah. She's an old lady.
She is. What is she this year? My mum's 70.
She's
Not
still
yet.
called-
Not yet.
She still calls your baby brother though, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Isn't she 70 this year?
She wouldn't be. Because our Jeff's 70 next year. This year, yeah. Yeah, she's 2 years older.
We're talking about your mum here, aren't we, Liz?
Sorry?
We're talking about your mum.
Yeah, my mum, yeah. Sorry.
I'm just getting it all.
Confused.
Problem is, when you're doing this job, I'm concentrating on this, and then I have to remember what was told to me, and I can't, and it's all my brain hurts. I'm not being rude.
No, you're all right. No.
Have you noticed your model's got a mowing gun too, Dan?
It's coming. I'm enjoying that.
It's a bad hair day. You don't normally have a mowing.
Would it not come down? It's there forever.
He was going for an haircut and he didn't get yesterday.
I might ask you to repair it for me later, back to what it should be.
I think it looks great.
He thought he was going to wear a miner's hat, so he didn't think it'd matter.
Well, do you think we had a costume prepared?
I was hoping.
Just thought it were fancy dress.
I'm sure Liz primed you for this.
I've not really
No, not at all.
been a bad niece. I've told them that it's happening and
Where to come?
that you were awesome and
That I was awful.
you were awesome
I'm going to say she told me she liked me.
and where to come and that was like it. Yeah. Sorry.
She said, "Oh, no, it's fine.
Have you been fishing?
Me, no. Not for
Not
Um,
season though, isn't it?
went last week, but bungalow working.
Bungalow working.
I bought a bungalow for the daughter and I've been having to do it up for the last 3 months.
Oh, God. So when do you do the nursing?
On the days when I'm not doing the bungalowing.
Or the fishing.
Yeah,
Your wife got in quickly with that one.
yeah. Ignored her.
What are you fishing for?
Just coarse fish usually.
Carp?
Carp, roach, bream. But I do have a fishing boat at on the east coast that I go out to sea in.
Really?
Yeah. Go sea fishing.
Gosh. Rod's out there.
Hmm?
Rod out on the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps to put something in the freezer.
What are you getting on cod out there? Or?
Okay, yeah, cod, ling, skate, whiting. Sometimes pollock, but I throw them back because although the posh fishing restaurants, I don't like them.
Are you?
No.
That's great. I get brilliant models. It's just fantastic. You're really good.
What do you look for then in a good?
I don't know. It's just some few features that you can get hold of.
Wrinkles.
They help.
Wear and tear.
Bit of contour lines are good.
Laughter lines.
Yeah, but just a character. Bit of character. The only thing, when you've got a good character, you don't want to go into caricature.
Yeah.
You don't want to end up doing a flock and roar,
Over-exaggerated.
spitting
speech,
image.
isn't it? Yeah.
You know, that's the danger. You want to
Yeah.
keep it. I mean, I quite like it to be art. I don't want it to be. It's quite easy to do character. Not that I'm very good at that sort of thing. But I can imagine it'd be really easy to turn
Yeah.
into a caricaturist. But really, what you want to do is get a personality across.
Yeah, they do.
And you want to get a face that sometimes tells two stories. So I call it duality when I'm in a pretentious place. I don't know if this counts. But you know, sometimes a face has one eye that's, you know, it's like it has a tear in it maybe, you know, or just a bit of sorrow. And another eye is kind of the face that's put forward, and you often find, I've got one in there actually. A guy that's had a lot of pain, a guy that lives in the past, you know, not lives in the past, but kind of visits the past a lot,
Yeah.
and is sad about things. And then you can see in it, you can see it in a face.
Some of them, you can almost hear the person talking when you look at it. It's really quite amazing. Well, all of them.
Are they all ex-miners from Doncaster? Yeah.
Well, we've had a miner's daughter as well. Pit nurse.
Miner's grandchildren?
Minus grandchildren.
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
How old was that little boy?
10. Connor? He was lovely.
Mm.
You're the late shift.
Hmm?
You're the late shift. I start to tire.
Oh.
So have you always fished? Did you fish when you were down into the...
My dad taught me to fish, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, when I was very young. Probably about 5, 6. He taught me to
Gosh.
fish. Taught my sister to fish as well.
Really? So it's something obviously that you've done all your life.
Well, open air sports were also a big thing in mining communities because
Yeah.
they appreciated the open air and the
Yes.
countryside. When you spend all your day down a dark mucky oval, you appreciate the finer things of life.
Yeah, I never really thought about that. So is fishing a popular, one of the
It
popular...
was about amongst miners, yeah, very popular.
Did you have like competitions for miners, or was it like just...
Is what, sorry?
Did you have like special fishing competitions for miners?
Well, they had several. They had their own fishing clubs, like a lot of industry did anyway. But, the coal mines were very big on sports. One of the big adverts for the NCB in the 1970s, 1960s, 1970s would come to work down a pit and go and do all these fantastic sports because they all had the big sports clubs, which running, fishing, skiing. They did all sorts.
Skiing?
Yeah, they did all sorts.
What, down the sluggy?
Yeah, down a pit. Yeah, they abroad. They did everything. They encouraged sporting activity because it kept you fit and healthy, and you could work longer and better. You're, the whole Victorian idea of a healthy workforce was nothing to do about looking after the workforce. It was because if you was healthy, you worked better.
Yeah.
And you made more profit.
Have you got any funny stories?
But down pit, oh,
I can remember hearing a couple about food.
oh, you always used to find the mice that ate your sandwiches if you didn't keep them in a
That word was
tin. It was miners had opened the sandwiches and find an hole straight through them where mice had burrowed through them from one side to the other.
Did you get rats?
No,
No
there were
rats?
no rats down a coal mine, but it's got mice.
Why was there no rats?
They never got down. They were not down our coal mine anyway. The drift mines, I think they had them down drift mines, but
It's a drift
because
mine.
drift mine is one where it has a shallow
Oh, right.
inclining tunnel into it. They're easier to get into it. But down a coal mine, it's harder for them to get down a shaft. Whereas mice are prolific. If there were no mice, you didn't want to be working there
Why is that?
because it was dangerous. Mice would never go anywhere near danger. If they thought there was anything that was life-threatening, they left.
Really?
Yeah.
what, like gases? And
Yeah, gas or water. You always find mice went first.
Are they like a signal then?
Well, they could be, yeah. Especially to the older miners, pre 60s, yeah, they paid a lot of attention to things like that.
I was talking earlier about air pressure. Keeping an eye on air pressure.
Yes, you had air doors that kept it, because obviously you've got to suck fresh air in one end and out at other. It's like a big U-bend, that's probably the best way you could describe it. With a big fan at one end, so you had air doors that stopped the air shortcutting round the pit. So you had to go round the way you forced it to.
But the other, about literally the weather and the fact that you looked at the barometer and you'd know if there was a chance of methane gas.
Oh yes, if you had a low pressure, you got fires and you got gas, things like that. If you always tell if it was going to be foggy or anything like that, you had problems. I worked on quite a few serious fires where one that we were only allowed to work for 4 hours at a time. When you say a fire, you mean when coals caught fire? Yeah, the coal, or what they used to call the waste. You get, because the air is shortcut through the waste and it'd cause a fire. Because the air cut through the waste? Yeah, when a coal mine was going forward, what was left behind was just waste with, obviously, air can get through because it's not solid coal. So your air would try to shortcut through it, which, if you got any friction, would cause a fire of some sort. And all the coal would catch fire. So when the coal catches fire, that's pretty damn. I mean, it's dangerous. Yeah. I mean, what they used to do was drill holes into it and then pump in. It was like a plaster mixture to seal it up. But when you were talking about the waste is all the loose stuff. Yeah, between the two roadways. Yeah. And the gob. Yeah. And that is on fire. Yeah. So there's no wall between you and it. No. So you then ram concrete on the outside of it? Well, they ram concrete on and then they drill into it and pump. It's like a plaster mix into it. So how, if you've got a 200-foot long coal face, 8 foot high, and you've got a fire there, do you do the whole 200 foot? No, it's usually away from coal face. It's usually probably back a good way back from it. It had only been near coal face. Coal face had been stood for some reason. Coal face had stood, not been moving forward. But it was usually some way behind it. How can you get somewhere behind it if it's full of? I don't understand. So you've got a gob, which is all about the hole. You've got a coal face. When you say behind it, is it because that's where the gob is? Yeah. But when you say it's some way behind, do you mean? Well, it could be 20 foot into 50, yeah, it could be 50, 100 yards behind or wherever it forces its way through. So okay. So I'm trying to work out. So you got your line of. They could start anywhere. So you've got 3 or 4. There are 2 roadways with your coal face, and it could be anywhere back here. Right back in here, 100. But anywhere, yeah. And how did it catch fire? Sorry. Well, it'd be there shortcutting because fire can't start without oxygen. So it's very, very hot there. Yeah. And a bit of air gets in. Yeah. And it suddenly ignites. Yeah. Well, it can do with friction. Yeah. With friction. Yeah. But you've got a lot of great pressure on it. You'll need something in it that'll burn, which is loose coal. Wood, anything. You used to use an awful lot of wood. Gosh. So when you say you're working on the fire, you mean you're putting that concrete in? No, well, the lads who were working the pumps, they put the concrete in. Our job was to keep the pumps running if they broke down, which they regularly did. Our job was to get them up running quick so they could carry on doing what they were doing. So the fire would still be going on? Yeah, oh yeah. Well, it's very difficult to put out, surely. In some cases, they never ever put them out.
Did they not use water on them?
No, you couldn't get to them to put water on.
So all you know about a fire is fumes?
Yeah, well, yeah, fumes and heat, yeah.
And heat?
Yeah.
I just love the way these guys are so kind of blasé about it.
Yeah.
Like heat. I mean, it's already blooming hot. How was it hot? How hot was it? Was Markham a hot mine?
No, it was possibly quite a normal one, unless you got what they call the heating, which was a fire. It was pretty normal.
Was it not too deep then?
660 yards.
The last
which in deep.
The last one we had was 2,500 foot.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is not.
Yeah.
Yards.
Yeah, they're not that deep. The deep mines, as in It's not a shallow mine, but yeah.
So where, like Markham, how far out would that go then?
The face that I last worked on was out towards Blackstone.
From Markham?
Yeah. Yeah, we were more or less on the Blackstone Crossroads. Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's probably 5 or 6 miles, maybe more. Maybe 8.
It's like across town. That's
Yeah.
like underneath town.
Yeah. It was a long way, yeah. Which is why, I mean, it was taking over an hour to get there and an hour to get back.
Could you add that
And-
into your time then? Clocking on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When you were walking, it wasn't like walking on a floor like this. It was like walking on Mount Teed in Tenerife with railway tracks 2 foot off the floor with nothing under them.
Really?
Mm.
So where in Tenerife?
Mount Teed, you know when you go up Mount Teed and it's all rocky and
Well, no, I've never been to Mount Teed.
Yeah.
Mount Teed, and it is.
yeah. It's more or less a lunar landscape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not, coal mines don't have flat floors,
Yeah.
not unless they're museums.
Have you been to that one?
No, I keep saying I'm gonna go.
I'd like to take the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you drunk tea?
No.
Coffee.
Coffee?
Oh,
sir?
that one's yours.
Other one, red
Other one.
I didn't take your bag out.
Your tea's going to be well stewed.
Sorry, darling. There was no sort of-
So it just can't. It just warms the wax up. It's all right. I'm just de-waxing my teeth.
Sure, it's the same.
No, it's fine, it's fine. I'm just getting some back. It's going to be an eyelash in a minute.
Do you want me to take some strength out of camp?
No, it's good.
And you could walk those distances carrying a big bag of bolts or an air drill. There was never anything light to carry.
No.
That was on top of carrying your tools as well.
How long were your shifts when you were down? Like, whatever your shifts were?
7¼ hours.
So you were a fit guy.
Yes, I was reasonably fit at my age, yeah.
When were you married?
1982. 1982. 82.
So I just thought I'd throw that one in. Throw in the googly.
Yeah.
Did you have any fit experience?
I actually took my mum down Allport. She went down.
Did you?
Your gran went down Allport, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she went down. There was I think it was a centenary opening. And I managed to get her a ticket. And she went down, and I went down with her. And somebody collapsed, so I ended up carrying them out. So your gran got left down on her own with party. She was very chopped about that for many years after that I'd left her.
Should have been good. Oh, okay. My granddad could have got her into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she loved it. She'd always wanted to go down and never got, and I managed to get her a ticket.
Yeah, go down and have a look, just not work down there.
Did you ever go down?
I keep saying we're going to go to Cap House and have a look, go down there,
Don't we?
never get.
I was a baby during the strike.
Were you?
Yeah.
What sort of strike did you have?
A year and I think it was a year and 3 weeks I was on strike.
And are you fully active in the strike?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hard time to be bringing
I saw all the political correctness of the authorities that
goes unreported.
Yes.
Did it put any, like, because my dad was still obviously going to work, did it put any strain, like, with you guys?
No, because your dad's job was nothing to do with strike. Your dad was management, that went up to do with strike. It was people that were miners that worked during strike. Well, there weren't many well, there were only 6 at Allport. I think 3 of them were imported from outside.
Sorry, 6 what? 6?
That worked, that went back to work during strike, yeah.
They
what were commonly called scabs.
Yes, but they... Right, okay.
But I think there was only probably 3 of those that actually worked at Allport before strike.
So, like, cause
They came in from other mines?
They brought some in from other mines, yeah, to make out that people were returning to work.
Was that the motive?
Yeah, it's
So
on
really
there.
they were symbolic.
Yeah, it's
Scouts were
on.
almost symbolic workers. They didn't actually do anything down there.
Yeah, well, the people get used as sheep, don't they? It's the Judas lamb, or Judas ram, should I say?
I never really thought about that. I suppose the scout people who went in on those buses and the coaches, they were going in and were just sitting down there waiting to come out again.
Mm.
Really?
Unless they were in Nottinghamshire where I lived. I mean, a lot of them were. There was some lads that were on strike, quite a lot of them. I made a lot of friends during miners' strike from lads in Nottinghamshire.
How come?
Because we all stuck together. Yeah.
What, like on
We had a strike centre. We collected money for food for everybody. Nobody went hungry.
Did you think you were going to win?
Yes, well, I don't think we ever lost, but I think the country lost, we didn't lose. I think the country lost a great deal because we've no industry now. And those policemen that stood on the picket lines are now losing their pensions and their jobs. Which is quite ironic, really.
Difficult to stay benign and benevolent.
Mm. As with the mining communities, there will continue to be a hatred of those that sold us out for a long time to come.
I suppose until the mining communities no longer exist.
Yeah.
Liz has just had a message from her sister saying she's watching it.
She's not saying shut up, is she? Hello, what was her name again?
Jean.
Jean. You're next.
She says she's utterly fed up with technology.
All right, not mining.
No, it's iPad.
It's like change. Oh no. Not change the subject. What you're talking about is mining.
Mm.
Do you talk about mining a lot at home?
No, sometimes some of my colleagues that were down mines, we sometimes talk about it.
Do you still meet up with them for drinks and that?
No, well, I've just recently, this week, had somebody contact me on Facebook who I worked with. He was a fitter on Cold Face with me, and he just recently contacted me on Facebook, Stevie Turner. I worked with him, we were both young lads. And when I started my shift, I think oldest were about 24. We were all a group of young lads on it.
Did you get much work from them?
We got loads of work done. And loads of work.
Sorry, I'm not.
No, you're all right.
Not propositioning you.
But it's quite
Quite unnerving.
It's quite ironic when somebody contacts you out of the blue that you often think, I wonder what they're doing. And
It's when they get back in contact and you can't remember them.
Yeah. Or people say hello to you in the street, you think, well, I know your face, but I can't remember who you are.
And so we used to have a right laugh together.
Yeah,
And you think,
yeah.
God, do we?
Yes.
Do you think people get stuck in the past?
No, not as such. I mean, I do socialise with a few people that work down pit, different pits, but down pit, and yeah, we still talk about it. They're the same opinion as me. I won't. It probably saved my life leaving, because I think I'd probably been dead by now, worked to death and riddled with dust or whatever. So yeah, but we still talk about it.
I mean, I haven't met anyone yet that's gone, I couldn't find a job after the mine's closed. I mean, I've always think 17,000 folk and all the jobs gone, and also all the subsidiary networks.
Yeah.
And no one's gone, I was on the dole for 10 years.
Yeah, there has been one or two that struggle, but it were mostly people that have no skills. And anybody who's got any skills, you were going to find something to do. I mean, I know a friend of mine, he runs a pub. He bought his own pub and runs a pub. He's very good at it. He worked at Allport with me.
I mean, did industry come and move in a sense, because they knew there was a population that needed work, or was nothing like that?
No, I think they got some European money, didn't they, to create jobs, but I don't know how successful that was. I think the jobs that have been created are all either within the service industry or one-man sublet units that are not real proper jobs, because we don't make anything anymore. We import things and put them together. Most of our big industry, in fact, all of our big industry is gone. You've got to look at places like Sheffield and Doncaster. This road alone from here right up to the other end of town was a hive of industry. There's nothing on it now, besides car showrooms.
What sort of industry do we have on this street?
On this street there was ICI, which made nylon. There was International Harvesters that made tractors, which then became cases that made tractors. There was the Pilkington's glass bulbs, made all light fittings and glass fittings for glass bulbs. There was all sorts down here. Now there's car showrooms and a sewage works.
Yeah.
I wished I were good at art.
Yeah.
I am to art to what Genghis Khan was for childcare.
Do you really think that, or you just saying?
No, I was never any good. I think I got chucked out of art at school because I was rubbish at it.
My mum's always said that.
I got chucked out of most things at school as well because I was rubbish at it.
Really? You're just saying that?
No, I didn't put a lot of effort in at school.
Did you find going to train as a nurse difficult then?
No, I quite enjoyed it. It was probably the best 3 years of my life going to university. Something that it was a challenge, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Where was it?
I was at Nottingham University.
Yeah, so being a student must be...
47.
That must be quite fun. Were you the oldest by miles, or...?
Yeah, I probably was the oldest. There were a few round about my age, but not many. Most of them were in the 20s. Mid-20s up to 30s.
Was it a sociable student experience?
Yeah, could be, yeah.
But you were married at the time, I presume?
Yeah, yeah.
With children in the house?
Oh, yeah, well, one. I managed to get rid of it. The other one had left by then, but I managed to get rid of the other one sooner or later.
Then I went back. And I went again.
Yeah, she's been back about 5 times now. Probably that bedroom door bricked up next time so she can't come back.
She's no trouble though, is she?
That tea is actually very nice.
Is it?
Yeah, it's quite, I've realised, why do I drink weak tea?
If you want,
You actually benefit from it.
so sorry I've got to take the bag out. If you want me to put any hot water
No,
in,
no,
I'll
it's
do.
fine. It's fine.
Okay, anyway. You're about an hour in now, Laurence. Not very
We
bad.
get a rest. Because this one last one, I was panicking.
How long does it normally take you then to do one? Or is it
One of
just
these?
dependent on? Yeah.
2 hours.
Right.
Have a rest for that. Quick 5 minutes.
No, you're right. You're right. Whatever.
Do you want any chocolate or anything?
No, I'm all right.
No. How you are so far? Right. It's the subtleties of it. Where the eye cheekbone blends into a cheek. So, do your people at the hospital leave, or
At the moment, there are quite a lot of people leaving.
in the sense of the patients?
Oh, yeah, they move on, yes.
I mean,
Providing they go through the treatment pathway and they progress. There are people that are there for quite a long period of time, people that are there for only 6 months to a year. There are people that can spend potentially the rest of their life there.
So the people there you've known for 10, 15 years?
Oh, yeah.
Patients, I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Laurence, Danny's just said that it's 1 hour gone. Even though you've already been told. Is it 1 hour or something?
Really?
I think so.
You can't leave alone. Hello, Danny.
Chill out, Danny.
Chill. Look after those kids. Hello, Jay.
It's fine, we've got it, Danny.
Does it look like him yet? So how often are you fishing?
Not very often at the moment because I'm
Building a bungalow.
doing the bungalow, but Probably once or twice a week if I'm,
Oh, right,
if I'm
crikey.
normally.
Sure. That's a lot of fish.
Hopefully.
Is it for the pot, or are you a sport fisherman?
No, well, if I just do river or course fishing, it's just for fun, or money, because I do a lot of match fishing.
Oh, really?
But if it's out in the boat, it's for the freezer.
So when you say for the money, I mean, are you likely to win when you go?
Yeah, you can do, yeah.
And the prize money is...
Can be anything from £40 upwards. Some of the big matches which I don't fish, you can win 25, 50,000 pounds.
Do you do those kind of fishing holidays to Lake Victoria in Africa and stuff?
No, I used to go to Pontins at Lowestoft at Backfield.
Well, that's near where I come from.
Yeah, I used to go to the fishing festival there first week.
Sea fishing?
No, course fishing. First week in October, till Pontins went bust, didn't they?
Yeah.
And it stopped then. They've not run it since. Used to go every October for a week. 4 of us.
So you're not a beach fisherman on the sea, then?
Yeah, I do it now and again, because we've got a caravan at Seaside, but I do it now and again, but not very often.
He says it looks like you're getting faster. It's got a good profile.
Thank you, Danny. You're on fast forward, mate.
Is he the guy that is he in the
I know you find him funny, but you're just encouraging him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not good. I've noticed that he starts getting far more confident when you start laughing at him.
I think that's probably why we work well together.
Yeah.
No, don't make him on.
I have to forget, sometimes people out there in the outside world just like to watch you working.
Yeah. Makes a change from soaps, I suppose.
Yeah. There's now what, 12 2-hour films out there if you want to do a box set session.
Yeah.
Do they do art therapy in your...
Yes, through art therapy. We have a variety of music therapy.
How do they do that? I mean, do you see that? Do you see evidence?
Oh
of
yeah,
it?
they come on the wards and do it. Come with all the musical instruments and sit with a patient, with a designated patient. They just don't come and sit with anybody, but whoever's been put forward to do it, they'll sit and do a variety of things with them.
I mean, is it heavily staffed? I mean, is it the staff to patient ratio is probably
It's quite
strong.
high, yeah.
And a lot of counselling sessions and...
Yeah, therapies.
And is there different styles of therapy, or is it all one philosophy, as it were?
No, there's a variety of styles, psychology, and depends what a patient's treatment
CBT?
needs. Yeah, DBT. Depends what a patient's treatment needs are.
And does that come down from specialists who've assessed the people before
Yeah,
they get to you?
yeah. No, well, when they come into the hospital, are assessed for the needs, and then they go to different wards from the assessment ward.
Did you say you weren't able to take the population? Is that
yeah.
Sorry, I was going to ask that question.
No, I'll get my legs slapped.
And do people get out? Do people, I mean, in the sense of escape?
Yeah,
Do people trying to escape?
Oh no, the last one that escaped was in the early 1990s. Probably more secure than any prison now. It doesn't exist now, but when I first started, you have to sign Official Secrets Act.
Really?
But it was Crown property.
Why is there so much sensitivity around it? I mean, sort of the information that gets out.
Well, you've got the normal NHS governance on privacy of information, and then you've also people have a right to the confidentiality.
Right. I should come and do portraits down there next.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's this wonderful artist called Théodore Géricault, French.
Yeah.
Who did the faces, and I know the people you're with aren't
Yeah.
all that, but the faces, they're called the faces of the insane.
I remember, yeah, he moulded them, didn't he, after
No, he did that, there's one guy did that,
Yeah.
he painted them, so he painted them, their title, there's a picture of a woman, it's a kleptomaniac, and then there's like all agoraphobic.
Yeah, eugenics, wasn't it?
Yeah. And he was working out, he was just seeing if there was a facial type.
Yeah, yeah.
I suppose that's implicitly incorrect now.
Well, eugenics has been politically correct
but
for
I wouldn't
many
call it
years,
I
yeah.
don't know if it's eugenics, I don't think it was eugenics, he was just interested to know,
Yeah.
as an artist,
Oh,
it wasn't
yeah.
a political thing.
Yeah.
I hasten to add.
Although a lot of the advances in medical science have come from experiments that were done during the Second World War.
Yeah, the morals of that are really quite complicated. aren't they?
Yes.
My mum says it's more interesting than watching Emmerdale.
Thank you.
And I can't believe that for a minute.
Starstruck.
I never thought
I think it might be a compliment.
Can she see a likeness with herself? A family likeness.
Yeah, there is actually.
I'm always amazed you guys can see.
Sorry?
I'm always amazed you guys can see from there.
Yeah.
Edwards was asking you a question.
Sorry.
How does it feel? Being made into a sculpture?
Yeah, it's
Are you nice
different.
And relaxed?
Hey?
Are you nice and relaxed?
Oh yeah. I can relax anywhere. I've had many years of training at being relaxed. That's another byproduct of working down a noisy coal mine, is being industrially deaf. Very, very noisy environment.
Mm. I think that's the thing about the cap house, it's very quiet.
Mm.
It's looking very good. Very much like
I'm going to ruin it now.
Right.
Just stop while the ground's good, really. You can all go home.
Why do you keep them in water then? Is that to stop them?
It's so buttery and so... It's sliding. The table and the ear would disappear and the back of the head would be flat in the morning. Yeah. Especially in this heat. I picked this up last week. Last time I came here, I picked it up in the morning, tomorrow morning. The water was warm.
Really?
I handed it was warm water from this
Yeah,
environment.
from
From the light.
So I was worried about that. Oh gosh, didn't think about that. I was with you, wasn't I, Liz?
Yes, yeah, it was. And it was quite a cold day outside,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Did it at home all right in the bubble wrap?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
All the moulds have been made.
Wow.
Are you doing it all here then, all the production?
No, I got a foundry back in Suffolk. I've got a foundry and people working there. So we go and do it all back there. But I'm trying to make as much of this art project up here as possible. And we've got a portable foundry as well. And we're going to try and do some bronze casting up here.
So when's the exhibition?
We're going to have a kind of an introductory show in May in the shopping centre.
Right.
So we're going to get a retail space and we're going to have all these on display and the proposals really for the next phase, which is the big sculpture, the big thing.
Is that going to be a permanent structure?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I really haven't let me know anything about
Yeah, really.
I thought I'd ask the question to Dad on.
Yeah. So it's going to be a big. I don't quite know what the term is. A celebration of the mining community to acknowledge their contribution and their influence on the Doncaster kind of history and landscape and culture. Big ask, really. I didn't realise what a big ask it was until I came here.
Mm.
You're going to be a Doncastrian by the time you finish, Laurence.
I know. What was I
You're
good
going
at?
to be part of it all.
Yeah.
An honoured citizen.
Is there such a thing? There'll be a text from Daniel. Ding ding, just in a second now.
Tell us, minute delay.
Tell us
Yeah.
to stop talking rubbish, yeah.
Because that was something else I was saying to somebody the other day. People didn't realise about miners that they say, oh, you've got pale skin. But in winter you'd go to work when it was dark and you'd come home when it was dark. You never saw any daylight for a winter. You'd at least probably 4 months of the year.
Blimey.
Besides weekends, you never saw any daylight.
Did you have to take vitamins then?
No, they didn't exist in them days. Vitamins. Only vitamins you got were out of a pint of beer in them days.
You're right.
Yeah, no, I'm just stretching my leg a bit.
Have you looked at it? Your sculpture? Have you had a look? Dad?
What?
Have you had a look at it?
Look at what? Yeah.
Your little puppet friend.
I think that'd fit perfectly on mantelpiece.
I wish you hadn't said that.
I'd have to get you to do one with one though as well, wouldn't I? I couldn't have just my dad on there.
Well, she,
Not a chance. I'd do it from the photo.
well, you get a plaster. I give you a plaster as an incentive to the donation I'm expecting for the sculpture. The 500 quid that really nice to think. We checked your bank balances before you came.
Yeah, you're like your dad.
It's hot, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah, these lights are awesome, these.
And the windows open.
We're all right, we'll go through. We've got about half an hour to go.
Yes. In a minute, you've got,
Or is it like a beeswax?
40 minutes.
No.
You've got 40 minutes.
40
Laurence.
minutes, right, great. No, it's a petroleum-based wax. It used to be beeswax, traditionally. But,
I would imagine beeswax is quite a lot more expensive.
much more expensive. I can even get that pimple that you've lived with all your life.
Beauty spot.
There it is. Oof.
Oh.
It's the magic of it.
Yeah.
don't tend to tell you what time on ears.
What, sorry?
I don't spend too much time on ears.
Yeah.
Well,
I won't have to say, I won't have to spend much time on mine. I think mine was the last one left in the box.
I go to bed at night, take my t-shirt off, and there's 3 slabs of margarine fall out. They're definitely butter people. They have kind of an uncanniness about them when they're in this material. Strange humanity.
You're not taking any chemicals in them and having it all in your mouth.
Well, you can see I'm really cheerful. I infuse them, I melt them down and mix in my favourite pastime.
Yeah.
When I worked for British Rail, in the next workshop to me is where they used to do the carriages, and when they were sticking the carpets down, everybody was happy. All you could smell was plastic.
So what did you do in the railways?
I used to build diesel engines for trains.
You built them?
Yeah.
So diesel engines were still being built. How long ago was this?
90, when did I leave? 90. 96 I left.
So was that, what kind of I mean, when you're building an engine like that, I only ask this because they're trying to build the Cock of the North. The guys are trying to
about as big as that wall.
What, the Cock of the North is?
No, the engines were about as big as that wall.
The whole wall?
Yeah.
Well, these guys are trying to build it, and they're trying to raise money.
Yeah, yeah.
They've got these panels, and they've got 500 holes in one panel.
Yeah.
It's all obviously very expensive. So you can buy a hole. You can sponsor a hole.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we were sold off to a nice Swedish company that told me I got a job for life, where they took over, and 6 months later I didn't have a job.
Oh, well.
Didn't tell me how long I was going to live.
Seems to follow you around, that.
Yeah.
Did a lot of them go from the pit to the railway?
Quite a few. There was, I think there was about 4 of us, if not 5, thinking about it. And that was just in my department. Because you were trained to be a good quality engineer, so you could do anything.
Do you miss the engineering side not working when you work in hospital?
Sometimes, but this country don't want to pay people for the skills that they've got. They want you to give you skills for nothing. They say there's a skill shortage, but who wants to be a skilled man and get paid a pittance? But there again, same goes for nurses.
You don't come under NHS, do you?
Yes, yeah, I'm under NHS, yeah. I mean, how many people go to university and get a degree and get paid a starting wage of £21,000 a year? Not many.
Okay.
Says Danny.
Says Danny. Get on with the tea.
He's backing the kids.
Like the X Factor, you only get so long.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know when you're 30 minutes up, do they turn the light out so you can't do it anymore?
Yeah. They take the wax out of my mouth.
Tilts down.
The next model is the canary.
Oh, I think you should have one definitely.
Well, I was always thinking if there was no show, I'd sit here for 2 hours modelling an imaginary canary. I'm quite excited really about a no show. Did you have much to do with the canaries?
My uncle used to breed canaries. He was
Really?
one of the top. He was one of the top breeders and top judges for canaries.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What, stemming from his mining experience? Or?
No. He was well. He was served a long time in the army, and then he worked on railways. Then. He used to go all over the country judging canary shows.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have them down here when you were down there?
What? Oh yeah, we had canaries down there. Yeah, we used only when there was fires. That's the only time we took one down.
No, none of Uncle Bert's though.
No, these were bred specially for. Yeah, no, these were just scruffy canaries, not show canaries. You knew when you were in trouble when they fell off at perch. You give them a whiff of oxygen to get back on again, singing away.
I always thought that was rather sweet.
Hmm?
I always thought it was rather nice that it was canary resuscitators.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But they stopped that when they brought the newfangled gas detectors in. They just hung them up somewhere and they bleeped.
Oh, so nothing to do with animal rights?
Oh no to do with animal rights whatsoever. Canary were best gas detector going. Better than relying on a machine. Saved a lot of miners' lives.
I've always fancied out an aviary, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I know.
Well, my uncle used to breed canaries, pheasants,
What,
and
show
pigeons.
pheasants? You mean those wonderful exotic?
No, just ones you could eat for tea.
Really?
Yeah,
What, shooting pheasants?
yeah.
You mean for a shoot?
No, you just used to breed them and then you could have them for your tea.
Really?
Yeah.
What, you didn't even have the pleasure of blasting them out of the sky?
No.
So just cut out the middleman.
No, when I was younger, you used to go around to my grand's, because he used to live with my gran at the time, and you'd go on a Saturday and he'd say, pick which chicken you want or whatever, and it was your job to sit on the step plucking it for the next couple of hours.
I don't think I've ever eaten it.
That's true nowadays, you all go to supermarkets for your food.
I quite fancy green.
Hmm?
No, we didn't actually got that.
Too pretty.
Well, nothing alive. Even just playing pigeon, I've always thought I'd like to do something like that, but I couldn't bear to kill something, so...
What you've got to think about is your mum was only there because she's next week's dinner.
Is that your sister-in-law?
So do you know any other miners that might be interesting for me?
Tony might well do. I can give him a ring if you want. And he knows quite a few ex-Allport lads that you can get in touch with.
Does he still have the pub?
Yeah, yeah,
Same one?
yeah.
It's amazing how it just kind of comes together in the last half an hour.
Weird.
How long have you been doing it in Laurence?
Oh, I've been dunk sculpture pit for since I was about
6.
yeah, basically.
Has it always been a
When-
hobby then?
When they stopped making him go up.
Hobby.
Oh, well, hobby, no, I know job, but I mean, you know, did you get into it through?
Yeah, I've been the 12th sitting, and it's the first time I've been offended.
Since they made him stop going up chimneys.
Well, I wasn't old enough for it to be a hobby, really. If you know what I mean. Before I developed the idea of hobbies, I was doing art. So, and I don't have a hobby.
No,
So it must be my hobby.
so you just enjoy your job.
It's a job that you love.
When it's all consuming and completely, yeah. So, but because it started so early, art, it never got a chance to become a hobby besides something else. You know what I mean? So I never had another job and wanted to be an artist in a spare time.
Yeah.
And it didn't take over anything else. It was just always what I did. So I've said it about every film actually. I've never had a job. And
It is. It's the type of job everybody wants, isn't it?
yeah, but then again, everything becomes a job.
Mm-hmm.
The minute there's a deadline, the minute somebody says, I want it then.
Yeah, puts
you go,
pressure on.
Oh God. But it is brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it.
To be able to create something in 2 hours like that.
It's awesome. It's awesome. There's no doubt about it. I come up to Doncaster, I think, oh, I'm going to go home with 6 sculptures. It's like going shopping.
Especially when you get good heads.
Yeah.
What did you do for your birthday?
Went for a drink with my friends at lunchtime, opened my present morning. I had to sleep because I don't like having a drink at lunchtime when I got back. Then we had an Indian and Black Forest trifle. And then I went back to pub. But I don't drink a lot.
Doesn't sound like it.
That was a funny conversation I had with my nurse when I went for my annual physical last year, and she said how much she drinks. Well, 3 pints 3 times a week. We all lie a little bit. And were you drinking too much? I said, well, it's either that or give me antidepressants, which we really like, you know. And she said, oh, I says, I do like whiskey as well. She says, you like whiskey? She says, do you have one before you go to bed? I says, yeah. It's a large one. I said, well, it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? Oh, you're drinking far too much. You're drinking far too much. And as I walked out of the room, I said, I like gin as well.
So funny enough, he'll be out of a job next week.
Yeah.
They don't want skills anymore.
Yeah.
You're yawning over there.
I know.
She's always thought her dad were boring.
It's a long day.
Tell me about it.
And it's warm in here.
Isn't it? You're not yawning.
No.
You had to sleep at lunchtime.
No, I haven't actually. I've been up since 6:30. I've not really stopped since.
This damn bungalow.
Yeah. I was having the windows done today, so I've been digging a fuchsia up, and it's the biggest fuchsia I've ever seen. It's got roots as thick as your arm. It must be at least 40 years old.
Feel a bit guilty about that.
I do, but it's right up against the bungalow, so that it's got to come out because of the roots.
15 minutes left.
I think we'll be well in time, actually.
My dimple, you mean? I was showing Catherine some pictures the other day of when I looked like Shirley Temple.
With your curly hair.
As a kid. Saying how much like you look like your mum and Chinese genes, how much the family look alike when you see them at different ages through the generations. Males, and you can just see that gene.
Got his pupil. I've never usually don't usually put pupils in it, but you've got two pupils that just go in line with your eyelid. It's very interesting that. So you just must. It's almost like the curtains are coming down, just over your pupil.
You ever noticed that? You put eyes. They're so different, aren't
Mm. Let's go for the chair and get too comfortable. Right, our last round. I'll do my rounds.
So when you're like making them into casts and stuff, do you remember all the conversations?
Yeah. No. And tomorrow I'll get them out of the box. And then we're telling stories, all the stories. And they all have, they're like memory joggers. Okay.
Wonder if your mum's got to end of Emmerdale yet.
She'll be watching. She's really funny because she was telling me stories. She'll be on the like messenger to a friend, and then she'll be laying in bed. She'll get halfway through a conversation and just like it'll turn to gibberish, and the friend will be like, "What's going on?" And it's 'cause she's dozed off. It's really funny. So she might be having a nap. I think she'll still be watching. I think this is going to be great because I think a lot of people that have their heads taxed will know they'll start forming networks. So we'll be like, oh, I know that person. And
I'll recognise that.
yeah. It's already had a couple that know of each other. And
Oh yeah. But it's like me as an apprentice. I mean, I met up with all, because you went to apprentice training school, you knew lads from most of South Yorkshire pits and some at East and some at West Yorkshire ones.
good for a union.
I think it'd be interesting if the people come on the night of the little show. I mean, everyone will have had this experience. There'll be like 18 of you.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Is that how many you're going to do now?
I think by that time I'll get, because we've got to have this sort of launch in May, and I reckon I've got one more sitting before then, one more session. I'm away in Australia. I'm away in April, so, and that should bring us up to 18. I'd like to do about 60. See if I can get good at it. Quite interested to see if the style changes. They're already much bigger than the first set. It's very strange, I don't understand it. It's not like one was bigger, they're all bigger.
Mm.
I'm not aware of doing anything differently.
So if you were doing a portrait at home, would it take about the same amount of time?
No. I mean, a portrait commission is usually about 7 or 8, 6, 7 sittings, and they're usually 3 hours each, you know, over a month. I think we're done actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I get some photographs of you? Always.
Yes, please.
Are
Do you want to hold your
alright?
head?
Yeah, if you are. Come on in, Laura. What do you think?
I think it's all right. Yeah. I think it's very lifelike. Very good.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Yes. See what it was.
Yeah. New smile as well. Side profile, it's just gorgeous. Do you enjoy that one?
Can I touch it?
No.
It's heavier than I thought. When I'm watching you do it, it just looks softer. Now, we were saying, you know, when you're touching it, thinking it'd like you'd be melting, you'd be able to like move it in your hands, but that's solid, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, well done.
I haven't played.
Very talented.
I'll ring you back in a minute.
Oh, thank you.
Can I just take a picture?
Yeah, do we take one? Have you with it?
No, well.
But you'll send someone through anyway, won't you? So.
You just say, I had a bad night on the beer.
Okay.
That's your favourite one.
It's the Mohegan.
Enough.
It's the
The Mohegan, yeah. Oh, that's so fun.
Thank you.
No, I like this. Is one of my favourites. This.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh,
It's
this
really
is
funny as well because the further away you
Yeah,
get,
it's
they
constant,
come more
isn't
to
it?
life.
Did you see them?
It's incredible.
Well, no, you showed me a few, but I didn't.
These are great characters. The first one.
Oh, yes. That's Paula's stepdad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's from Durham. He's got a kind of
Hey, up, hey.
got a kind of what do you